everyone, and welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And today for part B, we have another dialogue for you guys. Yesterday, two friends were talking about their favorite class at school. Now today, we're moving on to something else that is a personal favorite of the characters in the dialogue, but not school classes or school subjects. Now, cartoons.
Yes, a
Favorite
much
cartoon.
More summer fun topic than talking about classes.
Definitely.
So we're talking about the best cartoon.
Absolutely.
So, do you have any favorite cartoons?
Well, favorite cartoons. Well, of course, I like a lot of the classics that we remember. I was a big fan of Bugs Bunny. When I was a young kid. I loved those old cartoons, the art, the music, the voices of Mel Blanc were absolutely wonderful. Later on, I think I kind of like The Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park. Those are for slightly older kids. And my wife, though, she loves watching Japanese anime. And so I've gotten into One Piece and Attack on Titan. My wife's been watching that, and she got me some of the books, some of the manga for Christmas.
Oh, really?
So I've been reading those too. So I like some cartoons, but I don't, there's not one that I have to watch. Usually I see something, oh, that looks interesting, and I'll watch a little bit. What about you?
I am a big fan of Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers? Okay, I've heard of Bob's Burgers.
I do also like Family Guy or American Dad, those kind of, again, slightly older cartoons. But Bob's Burgers, I think, is very fun, and the kids in the family in that cartoon, they're all very funny. They talk really fast and have lots of kind of puns written into their way that they talk, so they have a little jokes there and there and there. But I also like, for anime, when I was younger, I watched a lot of Pokemon.
Okay.
That was a very fun, I still play the Pokemon games. I think they're really fun, so yeah.
There's so many you can really enjoy, no matter what age you are. And of course, every few years, another cartoon comes along, becomes very popular. And so really, it's something for anyone of any age. You can find the best cartoon out there for you. So let's check out the best cartoon with Bart and Lisa, our two characters. I wonder if their last name is Simpson. Yeah, let's check out the dialogue. I think it probably is.
I think so.
Are they yellow?
Must be, for sure.
Bart and Lisa are watching cartoons on TV.
If you ask me, this is the greatest and funniest cartoon ever.
You mean the worst and stupidest cartoon, don't you?
No, I don't. The characters may be silly, but they deal with some adult issues.
That's not how I see it.
All right, so we are starting part B of our dialogue, and now our topic is best cartoon. So we have two characters, Bart and Lisa, and it says, Bart and Lisa are watching cartoons on TV.
There you go. And we should probably talk about the word cartoon since it's so important for our dialogue. This is basically moving pictures. So someone does pictures, they change the pictures a little bit in each one, and then when you film it and watch it back, it looks like the drawings are moving. Mickey Mouse was one of the first really famous cartoons, and now of course we have cartoons with all sorts of art styles, and also we make them with computers these days, right? But generally, if you're watching an animated movie or something like this in a TV show, you could probably call it a cartoon. We should also mention that this could also be drawings that you see in a newspaper. A little story told often with 3 drawings. That could also be called a cartoon or a comic strip. Things like Garfield or Peanuts with famous, Snoopy. Those are in daily newspapers in America. Those are also cartoons. But generally, when people use the word cartoon, they're talking about these animated pictures that you see on television shows and places like that. So let's get into our dialogue. we're in the kind of middle of a conversation because Bart is giving his opinion on something, so they know what they're talking about, and we're going to have to find out. He says, if you ask me, this is the greatest and funniest cartoon ever. All right, so they're already giving their opinion on cartoons. He thinks that this one, we'll find out which one, is the greatest and funniest ever, or the best ever, probably.
Yes, and so we had this ever, this adverb here, and this is just like, if you say something is the best ever, it is the best thing that has ever been.
Of all time.
And will ever be. And so of all history and of all of the future as well. So this is the best ever, nothing can compare to that thing. You can also obviously use it in the worst way. This is the worst ever. This is the worst food I have ever had. So from the first food I can remember till now, it was the worst one. I'm never going to eat something worse than that. Well, until you do.
It was the most terrible.
Yes.
That's a good point, though. You can't really say the ever because you can't see in the future.
Yes.
But really, you're just giving your opinion and you're saying, for me, this is number one, or this is at the very bottom. It's really just a way of sort of saying, really, really, I really, really like it. It's the best ever, that kind of idea. Back to the dialogue. Now, Lisa, I think, has a very different opinion about the cartoon that Bart really likes.
Yes, and so Lisa goes, you mean the worst and stupidest cartoon,
He said
don't
the
you?
best and funniest.
Yeah, and so clearly Lisa does not agree. So she's kind of being a little bit sassy in her response. She's just like, oh, don't you mean the worst and stupidest cartoon? So she is obviously not a fan of this cartoon.
Wow, okay. Like if you said LeBron James is the best player in the NBA and someone says, do you mean the worst player? They clearly do not agree with you and they're making that point very, very easy to understand. But Bart says, no, I don't. I don't mean the worst and the stupidest. No, don't say that. No, I don't. He says the characters may be silly, but they deal with some adult issues. Okay, now here he actually has a real reason. He's not just saying, oh, it's funny, it's great, it's the best ever. He's explaining why he thinks it's the best ever. There are good characters and they sometimes deal with adult issues. All right, we can use adult or adult, as some people might say, as a noun to talk about a grown-up person, a man or a woman, as opposed to a boy or a girl. Generally, in most countries, if you're over 18 or 21, you are considered an adult. And anything that is about or for grown-up people like that is adult. An adult-sized piece of clothing will be much bigger than a child-sized piece of clothing. Something like beer or wine, that is an adult drink, something only grown-up people can eat, not a children's or a kid's drink or something like that. But here, we were talking about adult issues.
Yes, and so this issue, this word issue, is a noun, and used in this way, this issue means a problem, or it's a situation that these characters are facing. So we're not just talking about, oh, I got a bad grade in my school. That might be a more child or younger issue that they might deal with. They might have some really more complicated, tougher issues about, who knows, maybe like they don't know where they're gonna live or they don't know how to get money. These would be issues that adults would be facing and have to solve. These are problems that they have to work on that maybe children wouldn't have to. So this cartoon, according to Bart, is not just for kids. It can be for older audiences too. And so then Lisa says, that's not how I see it. So even though Bart has brought up this good point, Lisa thinks, I don't think so. When I watch it, I don't see any adult issues. I don't think that this is a very good cartoon. I still think it's dumb.
Yeah, exactly. That's not how I see it. Is just kind of like saying, I don't agree. I have a different way of thinking about this topic. All right, let's take a break and then we'll be back to find out what is the greatest cartoon. We still don't know.
So, what do you think of this cartoon?
The characters are childish, and the stories don't make any sense.
If you feel that way, then why are you watching it?
I'm not. I'm waiting for mine to come on. Now that's the best and most amazing cartoon ever.
All right, so we are still here with Bart and Lisa, and Bart thinks that they are watching the best cartoon ever, and Lisa is very much against that idea and thinks, no, this is not a good cartoon. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, a lot of the things that Bart said he likes about the cartoon, Lisa doesn't like. She doesn't agree with his opinion. So he wants to know, what does she think? He says he knows she doesn't like it, but exactly why is what he wants to know. He says, so what do you think of this cartoon? I know you're not a fan, but can you explain a little bit more about why you don't like it?
Yes, and so then Lisa says, the characters are childish and the stories don't make any sense.
Oh.
So Lisa is really not into this cartoon. She doesn't like stories that don't have a point. No. And she doesn't like characters who act like children or who are childish.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what childish is. This adjective means to act like a child when you probably shouldn't be or when it's not okay. Now, if you have a 3-year-old and they're sitting on the ground playing with dolls or toys or whatever, that's not childish. That's what a child should be doing. But when you have a 35-year-old woman standing at the airport saying, what do you mean I can't get on my airplane? What am I going to do? Why are you being so mean to me? You'd say, hey lady, you're 35 and you own your own company, but you're acting like a child who can't get an ice cream cone or something like that. So that's how we would use it. We're talking about things that are acting like children or acting in this very young, immature, not adult kind of way when they shouldn't be acting like that, when it's strange or rude or bad behavior.
Yes. Yes, and so if we keep going on, we have Bart who's going to respond to Lisa and see what is he going to say.
Bart is kind of being a little mean here. They're watching cartoons, they're talking about what they think, but then he kind of says, well, if you feel that way, if you really don't like the cartoon, if you feel that way, then why are you watching it? Huh? So he feels like he's kind of caught her here. She says, I don't like this cartoon. And then he says, but it's on TV and you're watching it, so why? Why are you doing that, huh, Lisa?
Hearing this sentence takes me back to being a kid with 2 brothers.
I know. Yep. Very annoying.
Oh, and hearing them be like, well, if you don't like it, you can leave.
That's right.
The problem is, and this is probably a similar problem for Lisa, is there might be only one TV.
Exactly.
And so Lisa says, I'm not, meaning I'm not trying to watch it. I'm waiting for mine to come on, meaning I'm waiting for my cartoon to come on. So maybe it is the next episode or the next show will be the one that she wants to watch. And then she says, now that's the best and most amazing cartoon ever. So the one that she wants to watch, which is after Bart's, is the best one.
I see. So I guess Bart's going to have to wait and watch that, and then they will really be able to know which is the best cartoon. I still don't know what they're watching, but I'm very curious. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching us. This is definitely the best English teaching show that we're on. And we'll see you back here sometime soon. In the meantime, we'll probably be at home watching cartoons.
Yeah.
So we'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.
Bart and Lisa are watching cartoons on TV.
If you ask me, this is the greatest and funniest cartoon ever.
You mean the worst and stupidest cartoon, don't you?
No, I don't. The characters may be silly, but they deal with some adult issues.
That's not how I see it.
So, what do you think of this cartoon?
The characters are childish, and the stories don't make any sense.
If you feel that way, then why are you watching it?
I'm not. I'm waiting for mine to come on. Now that's the best and most amazing cartoon ever.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 cartoon 名词卡通。My favorite cartoon character is Mickey Mouse. 我最喜欢的卡通角色是米老鼠。下一个单字 ever 副词有史以来至今。This is the best pizza I've ever tasted. 这是我吃过最好吃的披萨。下一个单字 adult形容词成人的成熟的。Jerry spent most of his adult life in prison. Jerry 成年后的大部分时间在监狱中度过。最后一个单字 childish 形容词幼稚的。His childish behavior annoyed his friends. 他幼稚的行为让他的朋友们很烦。Behavior 是行为 ，annoy 指的是使恼怒，使不耐烦。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 on TV 在电视上，这是一个固定用法。TV 是 television 电视的简写。我们来看看这个例句。The soccer game will be broadcast on TV this weekend. 那场足球比赛将在本周末在电视上播出。下一个文法 If you ask me 我认为依我看，这是一个口语的用法。我们来看看这个例句。If you ask me, this restaurant serves the best pizza in town. 依我看，这家餐厅的披萨是这个镇上最好吃的。最后一个文法 I'm waiting for mine to come on. 我正等着我要看的卡通开播。Wait for 加名词指的是等待什么东西，这是一个固定用法。Mine 是所有格代名词，代指要看的卡通。Come on 在这里指的是电视、电影或者是广播等节目的开播开始。我们来看看这个例句。My brother is waiting for his favorite soccer game to come on. 我哥哥正在等待他最喜爱的足球比赛开播。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Today we are going to learn about a famous artist named Chen Cheng-po. He was born and grew up in Jiayi. When he was little, he showed a lot of interest in painting, and later he went into teaching as well. He also went to school in Japan and China. So in his painting, you can see the Chinese and also Western element in it. Even until today, a lot of places in Jiayi still display Chen Cheng-po's artwork. You can see how much his passion has affected the people in Taiwan. So let's learn more about Chen Cheng-po.
Chen Cheng-po was a famous Taiwanese painter. Chen was born in Jiayi in 1895 and grew up under Japanese rule. At that time, Japan introduced Western-style education and exhibitions into Taiwan. This affected his style of paintings then. Chen Cheng-po was interested in painting when he was little. In 1907, Chen Cheng-po started to study at Jiayi First Kogako, today's Chengwen Elementary School. In 1913, he attended Taiwan Governor General's Language School after graduation. In 1917, he was a teacher for Jiayi First Kogako. During his tenure, he was very devoted to teaching and received bonuses from the school many times. In 1924, he went to Japan to study at the Normal Education Division in Painting of the Tokyo School of Fine Arts. In 1926, his oil painting, Street of Jiayi 1, was displayed in the prestigious Imperial Art Exhibition. Chen was the first Taiwanese artist whose oil paintings was chosen. After graduation in 1929, Chen went to Shanghai to teach art and came back to Taiwan in 1933. Traveling in China, Taiwan, and Japan enabled him to explore and combine Chinese and Western elements into his paintings. Chen Cheng-po was also a major figure in the Taiwanese art movement. After returning to Taiwan, he co-founded the Taiyang Art Society with other painters. They were dedicated to painting scenic spots around Taiwan. However, Chen Cheng-po died during the February 28 incident in 1947. Now, in Chiayi, you can find many places, even online resources, describing Chen Cheng-po and his works. Also, there are many Chen Cheng-po easels throughout Chiayi City. His passion for art and Chiayi can be seen in his paintings. His paintings are priceless treasures for every Taiwanese.
I hope you guys enjoyed learning about Chen Cheng-po, this famous artist, and how his passion and artwork has influenced so many people in Taiwan. I'm certainly influenced by his art and passion as well. Well, this is all the time we have for today, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.